Okay, so I think we're going to kick off our webinar today, and just like to say welcome to How to Reduce Plastic webinar. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sure it's going to be today. We're going to talk about 45 minutes maybe. What would be great is if you pop any questions, thoughts and feedback into the comments, and I will try to answer. So before we start, a little bit about me. My name is Annie and I'm the Sustainable Life Coach. I help people overcome the struggles of being kinder to the planet and support them to be sustainable. So I will tell you all about that sustainable life coaching later on, so keep watching that. I've been passionate about the environment ever since I saw about the hole in the ozone layer, clearing rainforests and oil spills during the 1980s. That's why I have a degree in environmental science. I have a master's in conservation biology and a diploma in life coaching. I've won 2 awards at a competition at MIT University for a climate change project that I devised. Currently, I'm also actively working on my own lifestyle to be more eco-friendly, including reducing plastic, and at the moment I have a carbon negative footprint, but it's not easy. So I understand how difficult it can be sustainable lifestyle. Okay, so today we're going to look at why we should reduce our plastic use. Why do you want to reduce your plastic? Some barriers to changes, solutions to barriers. I'm going to also deep dive one of those solutions about creating a plan, looking at putting that plan into action. I'm going to give you some information about how can sustainable life coaching help you. Just going to review with some takeaways at the end, and then we're going to finish up with some next steps. Ask you action, place yourself. Okay. So let's kick off with a great question. Why should we reduce our plastic? Let's have a look at some reasons why we need to cut our plastic use. Currently, we are producing more than 400 million tons of plastic annually, and more than half of all plastic has been produced in the last 15 years. The first reason, plastic is bad for the environment. There are so many pictures, documentaries, items about the devastating effects of plastic, wildlife, turtles mistaking plastic bag for their food, jellyfish that they eat, whales dying with stomachs full of plastic, and birds feeding plastic to their young. Around 1.1 million animals die each year due to plastic, mainly from discarded plastics, but also when plastic is being manufactured, particles can get into. Second reason is it takes a long time to break down. So this stuff is around forever. Plastic isn't a material that decays. Instead, it tends to break into smaller pieces to microplastics. And there are studies that estimate it can take a plastic bottle about 400 break down in a landfill. Plastic bags in the ocean only take around 20 years because of the ocean and UV light. But this still means that every single molecule of plastic produced since 1907 is still around. Every scary. Let's have a look at more about these microplastics. So they are any type of plastic that's less than 5 millimeters length. 80% of all microplastic derived from textiles, tires, city dust. You can find them, for example, in your cosmetics, in your bags, and in your synthetic clothes. Microplastics are often eaten by seals and then humans. So on average, we're eating around 70,000 bits of microplastics per person every year. So what effects do they have on us? Well, at the moment, don't know yet. The plastic themselves might have some effect on our physiology, might act as a way of bringing chemicals such as heavy metals into the body, and it's possible that microplastics might serve as vectors for pathogens. And they've also been found, unfortunately, so they're pretty much everywhere. Another reason is climate change. Plastic is by extracting and refining around 4% of the world's annual petroleum production is diverted into making plastic, and another 4% gets burned in the refining process. Production process produces carbon dioxide, and then carbon dioxide produced for transportation as well. When the plastic is incinerated, this adds even more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and then when plastic breaks down, it releases methane. Not really great for the planet. Also, not all plastic is recyclable. If you look at the different types of plastic, then you see they are classified in 7 types according to their ability to be recycled. The only widely recycled plastic is PE, and the plastic that you would find in a plastic bottle, for example. There are 3 plastics which are possible to recycle, but you have to check with your local authority whether they can recycle that for you. Plus, there are 3 types that cannot be recycled. This is getting better with some companies to recycle, or markets that are collecting plastics, for example, soft bread wrappers and packets. But you do have to manage that yourself and drop that off separately to their collection. Plus, plastic really can only be effectively recycled once, unlike glass or metal that can be recycled many times. So recycling isn't a great option for plastic. And even if it is possible to recycle it, not all plastic is recycled. Only around 20% a year is actually recycled. Out of the 8.3 billion tons of virgin plastic produced worldwide, only 9% has ever been recycled. And even really recycled. Some of it is just shipped to another country and might just burned in open fires. Some of it is sorted by mainly women, people in poorly paid, low-income jobs. Now we're getting to the situation where countries like China are pushing back and rejecting plastic from Western countries. So of all the plastic that has been produced, 91% recycled. So do you have any other reasons why plastic is brilliant? Let me know. I'd love to see those in the comments. These are some of the main reasons why we should plastic use. Okay. We've had a look at why we should reduce our plastic, but why do you personally use plastic use? It's really important to find out what your reasons are. Very important to you. Why is this a personal challenge, and why do you want to? Great idea to keep in mind, for example, if you don't want to see a turtle, because that helps with motivation and drive and going with. How will it make you feel? Will reducing your plastic create a sense of purpose and satisfaction? How will you measure this? What does reducing your plastic look like to you personally? For example, maybe it's less in the general waste bin. Maybe it's less plastic in the recycling. Maybe it's less plastic through the front door. And who will it involve? Maybe you need to think about different types of suppliers. Probably you might need to get some members of your family involved. You'd think about doing it with some of your friends, doing it as a group. You might want to connect with other people who are reducing their plastic as well. You might want to consult an expert or some kind of professional that will help you. And how will it affect? So will they be happy? Will, other members of your family, your friends, maybe work colleagues? Are they going to be on board? Consider that when we want plastic. And additionally, where will you get support? Often we get support from family and friends. Also, you find other plastic users. You're considering about talking to an expert or help you, like a coach. We've covered why reducing plastics. There are many excuses not make change. These are called barriers to change. We might have a couple of them ourselves. Here are some examples. So any big change in our life can feel overwhelming. Suddenly you might see plastic everywhere. It's all over our food, in our clothes, on our feet, part of the construction of the house, in all the cleaning products, all our containers, etc. Oh, it can feel like a huge task. There's no guide to reducing plastics, no incentives, no government guidelines or any help. So no wonder people. It can also be super confusing. For example, companies might tell you to choose a better option. There was a shampoo company that started doing little pouches, which might seem a great way of reducing plastic, but those pouches aren't recyclable, and the original shampoo bottles are. And the company still said it was better for the environment. Frustrating is that. Something that's known as greenwashing, when there's something friendly, when savvy, when it's the best option. And, not liking giving something up. This is my personal bugbear. I don't like giving something up. Mostly when it's about a delicious food product that comes in plastic packaging. Really frustrating, and it can be really hard to deny yourself something nice just because the producers don't provide the best container. Especially when plastic is convenient and it's versatile. Originally, it was hailed as a solution to so many problems, and that's true, but it also has the downside of being around forever. We do need more convenient options that are better for the planet. Do a little bit of extra work to try and find something. Obviously, a lot of us have busy lifestyles. For example, picking food up on the go, microwave meals, other disposable items have accelerated partly because people are now too busy to find the time to manage a non-plastic style. Plastic makes things quicker and difficult to dedicate a time to non-plastic. Also, plastic is cheap. Alternatives to a plastic-based lifestyle can be more expensive, and many people do not want to or can't afford to be expensive, making plastic attractive, and consumerism kept driving this. Plus, it's difficult to do such a challenge like this, and keeping going is tough. It can feel like a huge mountain to climb without any support. So do you have any suggestions as to why giving up plastic is hard? Hear your comments about all the difficulty that you have when it comes to plastic use. Really interesting to hear those comments from you. Put them in the comments box. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at some of the solutions to those barriers. First of all, find some help. There are lots of other people that are on the same journey as you. You might find them in your community, you might find them online, but it's a great way to connect with some like-minded people. There are webinars like these and oodles of videos that can price as well. Second thing is about creating an action plan. We're going to take a deep dive into this solution today, because putting plastic reduction into an action plan is a good idea. You can create specific, measurable, achievable, and realistic targets that makes that plastic mountain more scalable is a way of making a huge problem much easier to climb. So, you need to do some research. Fortunately, it does take digging and diving to get to the solution. There are some ideas that could appear to be cutting plastic when it's. Remember the greenwashing example I gave you with the shampoo refill pouches? Yeah. It also makes some better choices. Rather than thinking that we give something up, it's about having a flexible attitude. So maybe it's about taking your own containers to the supermarket or choosing suppliers with better food packaging. There's lots that you can do that means you don't have to feel like you're out. Also, reducing our plastic use, about reusing what we already have. Convenient, and thankfully there are options now where you could fill your plastic rather than using it only once. After all, glass is really dangerous to use in the shower, so maybe you want to use a plastic shower gel container, but refill that every time. Good idea is to break it down into chunks, bite-sized pieces. It makes it really much more manageable. You could also find some free or cheaper options. They are out there. It just takes a little time to find them. And also, you can find some support. Having friends and family give support is really helpful. You might need to get them on board with your project first. And there are also coaches like myself who can provide you with real support and encouragement without having to persuade me. Are there any other solutions to those barriers of change? Again, I'd love to hear them. So you pop them in the comments box. That would be okay. So we're going to talk about creating a plan now. Deep dive into. So when we're creating a plan, it's a good idea to pick one place to start. When I said break it down into smaller chunks, it's the first chunk that you need to think about. I suggest something like thinking about tackling plastic in the bathroom, in the kitchen, work, maybe guarding your cleaning products, about your wardrobe. They're all good options. They're easier to manage than try and go 100% plastic free right from the get-go. You can always start a new challenge once you've finished one. So pick one place to start, focus on that area, break that down into that easy to manage chunk, and then come back and do another chunk next time. Okay, so now you've chosen your specific challenge, then it's time to do that research. Here's some ideas of what you might need to find out more about. What can you stop buying? Good idea to make a record of what you buy and work out what's unnecessary. For me, it's plastic bottles. That's a way of seeing what's coming in and finding a great way to do that just by recording down all the plastic that's coming through. Working out what kind of swaps can I do. So can I swap to something better that's plastic free? For example, I could buy plastic free shoes available now in the market. That's a great swap. I'm not losing out. You might want to find out where you can find plastic products. Does it mean shopping at a different market, at the local market, different stores, or on an online store? Could you use another solution? For example, there are refill stores, there are zero waste apps, maybe you can try some hand items. Also, to have a good idea, it's a way to think about ethical companies. Some brands have been bought by larger unethical giants. So do some research, do thinking. There are websites that rank companies about which ones are worth looking into. My ethical example. And don't forget about the packaging. Try as we might, there are times when plastic-free option and then it's delivered in a load of plastic packaging. So ask before you buy online to make sure your efforts are not wasted, and reject plastic bag when you get to the sales counter. All those things good. So we're going to talk about easy, medium, hard goals. These are going to be specific to you and your budget. So I'm going to look at one place as an example. And the example we're going to give today is a plastic-free bathroom. So these are some of the easy things that might be a good option to try. But what might be easy for me might not be easy, and vice versa. About working out which swaps you do. So here are some suggestions. For example, trying a bar of soap instead of liquid soap in a plastic pump bottle. Fairly cheap, straightforward. Alternatively, it could be something like choosing plastic toilet paper and moving to filling our shower products. But those things, as I say, might be something that works for me, might be a little bit more difficult. Let me know what things you might find easy to do when you're reducing your plastic. Next categories are some actions that are, again, a little bit more difficult. Here's some ideas that I've tried and tested and they were not straightforward. I needed to do some trials and some research. Toothpaste, for example, tricky. So far I've tried 2 types of paste in a jar, toothpaste tabs, and even solid toothpaste on a stick. It's worth looking around for some recommendations and knowing that maybe your first plastic-free option might not be the one for you. I've written a blog post on my website, www.thesustainablelifecoach.com, about it if you want to know more about the toothpaste trials. Again, it's all personal to you, and you might find plastic-free toothpaste is a doddle. So, again, just some examples that may be a little bit more tricky, but still. And then again, there are some hard, and there's always going to be a few plastic-free options that are harder than the rest. So for me, it's been about finding nice beauty products in plastic-free packaging. So frustrating. Additionally, sunscreen itself is full of plastic, but it's when you go out and about to do water sports, especially on hot sunny days. So this is where you need to keep going, maybe find some recommendations, trials, do some research, keep going with your support team, and building up on trying to make that transition to be plastic free. So what things might you find really difficult to do when you're reducing your plastic? Let me know in the comments box. I'd be interested to hear most challenging plastic. Okay, so you're creating your action plan. You've got your easy, medium, and hard actions, focusing only on area. The other thing is to think about, don't try and do everything all at once or go plastic free overnight. Set yourself an unachievable target, not to meet, and be. So make it reasonable. Give yourself a good time frame. Make sure your easy, medium, and hard actions are put into your plan with a good level of time so that you can achieve them, and also make sure that you would actually think that you would be able to achieve. Also, it's not the greatest idea to just chuck all your plastic you have in the bin. After all, it's already been. Maybe think about how you can reuse that plastic first by refilling the bottle, or at least using all the product first. Maybe repurpose the plastic, and if not, see and recycle it. And make a reasonable schedule. So perhaps one swap a week, putting in some time to do your research as well, maybe half an hour a week. Whatever you consider is manageable and will get you. Okay, so we've created our action plan. We've put in thought about how we're going to create that action plan. Now we have to putting our plan into action, which is the hardest part, really. And there are some tricks that can help you with that activation. Use reminders, whatever works for you, whether it's an alert on your phone, a note on the fridge, try different things. Make sure that you remind yourself of what you need. Also, let everyone else know that you're doing it, and it actually makes you more motivated to complete. So post on social media, tell your friends and family, and this will encourage you to really hold true to your promises. Good idea to find your tribe. There's lots of Facebook groups, Instagram influencers, local communities, and apps that you can find to help you. This can give you the support you need, but also be prepared to get conflicting advice too. So it can be a little. It's a good idea to find a community of like-minded people. Also, be prepared to fail. This is normal and it's part of the process. Don't learn without making mistakes, and also we can't be expected to meet all our targets all the time on time. Life just doesn't happen like that. Main thing is to not give up and to keep going. We also need to celebrate our successes. In my experience, you get lots of nice feedback and comments. Doing something that's eco-friendly, which is great, might also inspire other people. Really wonderful feeling. That can also help you going and to be motivated. Obviously, once we've come to the end of maybe tackling plastic in our workplace, we would start a new challenge. So if you already changed all your cleaning products to be plastic free, maybe start on making wardrobe plastic free next. So how does that plan and that activation sound to you? Have any feedback about that? Are there anything you like? Are there anything you don't like? Let me know. That's great. Okay. So don't worry, we're almost at the end now. So I'm just going to talk to you today a little bit about how sustainable life coaching can help you. So I use the analogy of a gym coach. Yes, you certainly can build your own fitness plan, watch videos online, and etc. But, begs the question, why are there still so many personal trainers around? If you go to a personal trainer, no two people's fitness plans are the same, right? One person might want to improve their stamina, someone else might want to lose weight, another might want to improve their muscles. A PT will put together an exercise plan specific for your fitness goal. And they also make sure that you turn up and put in 110% of effort, right? They can also adjust the plan if needed and help you if you're struggling some parts of the program. Plus, they give you great words of encouragement and high fives. This is the same with a life coach. They create a plan with you specific to your needs, whether you want to reduce the plastic in your beauty products or have a plastic-free kitchen. Coach is there to help you create a plan that's right for you and put your actions that you can complete into a reasonable time frame. They also make sure that you're actually putting the plan into action and hold you accountable. So checking up on your progress does produce better results. There's someone who you can bounce ideas off and assist you when you need to find solutions. They make sure that you know how to overcome your barriers and celebrate your success with you. It's a PT for your life where instead of getting fitter, you become more sustainable. It's fine if you can do all of this alone, same as any challenge. You can do it alongside all your other commitments. That's awesome. But sometimes it's okay to need a little help to get you there. Coaches make sure that you don't fall behind and are your Mr. Motivator for your lifestyle. Plus, if you sign up and pay for something, you much more likely to reach your goals. That's why coaching is so effective. And for a limited time, I'm offering my coaching program of 6 sessions, normally priced at £180, for a reduced price of £120. You need to be quick and send me a request or connect with me through my website, www.thesustainablelifecoach.com, through Instagram at Sustainable Life Coach, or Facebook, The Sustainable Life Coach. So I'd love to hear if you have any questions about coaching. Do pop them in the chat or comments. I'll pick them at the end. If you'd like to hear more about my coaching program, then please go to my website and drop me a comment. Okay, so what have we learned today? Well, we've talked about identifying why you are doing it. It gives you your motivation and drive. Talked about focusing on just one area, so making it easier to handle. We've covered about doing research. It can be a minefield out there, so be careful and use reputable science-based information. Create a plan. This is your personal map to reducing your plastic use. Include your goals and timing in your action plan, but make them achievable. Then put your plan into action. Easy, right? Use reminders, get support. Repeat with another focus area. For example, if you've tackled the bathroom, take a look at the kitchen. And consider coaching, especially if you're not hitting your targets, you're not making progress, and you need to be held accountable. Remember how effective it can be when you're at the gym with a personal trainer. Sometimes you really need that encouragement and monitoring, especially when you're doing this for the first time, or on your own, or if you need to convince other people. Okay, so we're at the end of the webinar now, and here's your next steps. I'd love to hear your feedback, so if you can send me your thoughts, that'd be most appreciated. If you have any more questions, please also send them through. I'd be over the moon to hear about your progress and successes as well. It seriously makes my day, so please do send them through. If you can share this webinar with your social networks, and also recommend it to anyone else who might want to take on this challenge. I know that it's not an easy journey, and I'm here to help you with the coaching service. Just let me know if you or someone you know wants to support motivation and results that coaching gives, then you can contact me. So feedback, questions, progress, and success reports, plus coaching information, go to www.thesustainablelifecoach.com or Instagram or through Facebook. So just looking at a couple of questions for today. Judy says that the recommendation is Parla tooth tablets. They really taste good and do the job. And Aurelia cream deodorant. Great recommendation there. Yeah, at the moment, I would say my favourite is Ben and Anna's toothpaste. It tastes like a more liquidy Fox's Glacier Mint, if that makes any sense. I think that's the one that's closest to regular toothpaste. It comes in a glass jar. You do get a quite big size. Ideally, I'd like to have a refill option for that, and it is a little bit expensive. But for me, it's the one that works the best. I have tried tooth tablets, but they are a little bit gritty or grainy. But yeah, I would certainly try Parla tooth tablets. So thank you for that recommendation. I also have a cream deodorant. I've tried that a couple of times. I can't remember the brand name off my head, but there is a blog post on my website where I give you details. So if you have a look at that, it's about my eco journey, and you'll find the details there, and also a link to be able to buy them from the ethical store. Unfortunately, I already have some deodorant in aerosol cans. So what I'm trying to do at the moment is use them up and then switch over to cream deodorant going forward. Again, it's in a little glass jar, but it seems to work really well, and it does feel really natural, which is great, much better than those chemicals coming out of aerosol. All right, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for everybody who's joined me. If you're watching this at another time on demand, that's even better as well. I want to say thank you. Have a fabulous day, and bye for now.